There's some limits to that. One is, it simply isn't enough. It simply will not work. I am a perfect example of that because I am really uptight about toxic chemicals. I am vigilant and uptight, and I would not wish upon any of you my level of uptightness about toxic chemicals. I have in my house, I screen everything coming in. There's no BPA, no BFRs, there's no Teflon frying pan, there's no Scotchgard. I get organic food. I buy used furniture so it's off-gassed in someone else's house. There's no birthday party goodie bags coming in my house. I am like on the case. And yet still, I had my own body burden tested last year to see what toxic chemicals I carry. Even with that incredible vigilance that I have, my body is loaded with toxic chemicals. It's loaded with toxic chemicals that I never knowingly ingested or put on my skin. It's loaded with chemicals, that some of them that were banned when I was a toddler. That it's loaded with chemicals that I never gave permission to those companies to put inside me, yet I, like all of you, carry them around. There are some problems, like the prevalence of toxic chemicals in our society, like the climate, like inequity, so many other problems that we simply cannot solve by making better choices at the grocery store. In fact, the best thing we can do at the grocery store is turn to the person next to you, introduce yourself, find out where they live, find out what's on their mind, invite them over for dinner, ask them if they want to sign up for one of the training programs here, start to rebuild that community. So number one is that this individual action just simply isn't enough. Number two is that it will turn us all into nags and people will stop inviting us to parties. And number three is that it's exhausting. Often doing the right thing ecologically is more expensive, it's not available, it requires a huge amount of research on our side ahead of time to figure out what's the right shampoo to get and all this and that. It's like getting better and better at swimming upstream. And what we actually need to do is change the current. We need to change the current so that our entire economy and culture is facilitating all of us, no matter how rich or poor, no matter how informed or not, facilitating all of us moving in a direction that promotes sustainability, equity, and social justice. And that's where all of you guys come in. Because if we succeed in doing this, then we don't have to be so neurotic to avoid toxics, because the only thing that's going to be available are the environmentally sustainable, socially justice, non-toxic solutions. That'll be the only option off the table. Paul Hawken says, we have to make doing the right thing as easy as falling off a log. That's what we have to do rather than getting better and better and better at balancing up there when the whole system is geared against us. And that is why I'm so happy I was here tonight. I actually had to come change my ending because I usually end with this big call to arms, but you guys are already doing it. I'm just so enormously inspired and full of hope because you guys haven't forgotten how to dream big, how to set bold, ambitious goals, and how to work together to achieve them. You're not sitting alone wringing your hands, paralyzed by the magnitude of the problems. Most conferences I go to, one person comes in and introduces themselves to me and tells me how the climate is beyond change, and now we have to build these giant sails to block the sun from coral reefs because they're all going to die, and we have to move into mitigation, and it's impossible. Or somebody else comes in and says the oceans are dying, and we have to make spirulina in test tubes because it's too late to save the fish. It's like, I didn't hear any of that gloom and doom. All that I heard today from every single person who was here is how you are working together to make positive change. And you know what is so great about that? It changes the frame of the discussion. It changes the image and the paradigm and the tone of what does it mean to be an environmental and social justice advocate. It's no longer about, come over here and we'll nag each other to remember our bags at the store, and we'll look at endless depressing charts together, and we'll not deny ourselves fun because we are grim and determined and the planet is in peril. It's no longer about that. It's about come over here and we'll focus on solutions, and we'll learn together, and we'll share together, and we'll build the healthy communities and engaged citizenry need to transform our economy and culture and government to promote sustainability and equity and justice. And you know what is so great about that new frame is that coming together and doing all those things provides all the things that make us most happy. Remember that list? Quality of your social relationships and coming together with others towards shared goals and a sense of meaning and purpose beyond yourself. Working together to make this world a better place provides all of those things. So how fortunate is that? That the very thing we need to do to get our country and our economy and our community and our businesses back on track is also that thing which will make us most happy. So while saving the planet and promoting equity are very strong, compelling attractions, and when we're recruiting more people to the conversation, we should tell them that. Let us not forget that the most compelling thing is that working together for change is way more fun And we saw that tonight in the pre-dinner mingling. It's fun because we get to share our passion and spend our time with people like all of you here. So on that note now, I will stop talking so that we can get back to building that community and having that fun that is so core to our success in charting a different future for this country together. Thank you very much.